Good afternoon. How you guys doing? I heard that sound. You can make it loud. I heard you. Yes. Thank you. All right. For all my white friends who don't know what that sound is associated, it's associated with the long-time radio show I used to host on a traditional platform, and it's the sound of a horn. And that sound, till this day, people still think I carry it in my car. So I'm excited to, by far today, 14th March, has been the most interesting day of my life. I started my morning at 7 a.m. with a group of people that I tweeted about. We had 80 people in a room who I met for the first time to distribute a gin that I produced called 48 Gin. And we put out a survey last year to say, if you're the best seller, come and join the 48 team. So we got the 48 team that I met this morning. And I'm proud to say, before coming here and talk theory, I'm living that life where we put out products on the market, and without really sticking to textbooks, we see some great results. And I want to share those results with you. I was told that I got 15 minutes, so for those who've spoken, I looked at all your CVs. You've never been paid to talk. I'm a radio talk, so I get paid to talk, and it's hard to limit me. But I promise, we're gonna go through it. I lived 15 years in this great billboard. This is the biggest billboard in the world. And one thing I've learned about Times Square is before you make to the stock exchange, you got to make the eyeball exchange. What that means is most successful products, if you're going to benchmark yourself before you list, be it JSE, be it New York Stock Exchange, you benchmark the success of your business by your ability to stand on one of those brands, okay? Now, what happens with Times Square, being told that it's the most expensive eyeball, a friend of mine put out a clothing brand and was very successful, and they paid $80,000 a week just to be in that space. Does it guarantee ROI? Does it mean people are going to run to the store and flush to go and buy that product? We don't know till you go, as marketers that are here, you go and put it to test. Now, I don't know why the signal is sabotaging me, but I'm going to do it. I'm a firm believer of creating products that makes people feel good, more than just enjoying how they taste or enjoying how they look. And if you look at this brand, this is the most crucified brand by the media. Michael Jackson, till this day, in his grave, still making negative headlines, negative coverage. But does it kill or destroy how your son, how you feel, or how those that came before you still feel about him? No. American Idols, you watch talent shows, somewhere there's a Michael Jackson influence, even in the generation of people who were not there during his time. So what does it tell you? He managed to cross through the normal, what you call influence. Michael Jackson has reached what we all struggle, which is the value system. When you speak to people's value, your brand is not durational, because it will thrive beyond the publications, beyond what people say about you, beyond what people perceive you to be. Because he spoke to something that is timeless, and he spoke to my value. Till this day, I'm a big MJ fan, and maybe some of us are, but I want to bring it back to what we all paid our tickets to hear about, which is marketing. I like how I used to be on a traditional platform where I used to sit with clients and sell them speculations. Yeah, and I'm good in selling speculation, something that you can quantify, because I served there for 16 years. And now with the rise of digital, where brands can take or get their own analytics, understand how their product is performing, what conversations people have with their product, a 30-second ad is no longer as powerful as it used to be today. A 45-second video ad on, I don't want to mention channels, on any traditional media is not as powerful as a conversation that we are having today on social media. If you think I'm wrong, Donald Trump wouldn't be president today. And the Democrats spent twice the budget of the Republicans on traditional media, but still a Cape Town-based company. I don't know if you guys know about that amazing Cape Town-based company predicted the success of Donald Trump. And all of that was based on proper research and understanding people's psychographics and where the conversations are. One of the greatest of all time, Mr. Philip Kotler, says, marketing takes day to learn and unfortunately a lifetime to master. So let me share something. 5 years ago, I dropped a wine, Touch Warwick. This wine, we did not have a single billboard. We didn't even have a single ad. On the day we launched the wine, it was launched at an auction, and I didn't stage it. At this auction, the wine sold for 1.3 million. Those who know Miss Wendy Applebaum, she was one of those bidding, and she took it to 1.3 million. Now, if you Wendy Applebaum at 1.3 million is our annual salaries combined. What I learned on that day, I'm selling to a group of very important people in Stellenbosch who are looking at the Sharpeville boy who never had a grape tree in his house. And I'm putting my name on a bottle of wine saying it's better than Rupert and Rothschild, it's better than Waterford. And Kevin Arnold was right there next to me. For those who don't know, Kevin Arnold makes Waterford. So how is it that you can communicate value to a market that's not familiar with your brand? How do you get people to buy into something they haven't experienced? Because when I went to school, my lecturer, Neil Levy, taught me a successful marketing brand. You have to experience it, you have to share it, you have to taste it. And I put a bottle of wine that made the headlines. I think that was the first time I made good publicity in my life. And we sold this bottle for 1.3 million. And the lesson I took from there is it's amazing to go to school and get all these amazing strategies, how to build successful brands. But I genuinely feel that the success of any marketer out there, for those who've been doing it longer than I've been doing it, is genuinely not in what you say about your product, but it's purely on the story. I sold people the story of growing up in a church family where I almost got killed for drinking Holy Communion wine. My grandfather built 88 churches. So one time I had access to what was going to be, then they changed from wine. From then they started making grape juice. But the whipping said to me, if this man can go as far as killing me, one day I want to make my own wine because it's got to be something special. And I took that lesson. No, you got to learn to change your agony to something constructive. I grew up hating wine, and I said, one day this is going to pay me. We put out a bottle which was sold out in 3 months without a billboard. Now, I'm not spending money away from those who owns billboards. No, no, no. I'm saying the story was so intriguing, you couldn't help but indulge. And one of the big mistakes we make is we hit one-night stands. There are people who put a name on a product and assume because I'm famous, people are going to consume it. But guess what? In the wine business, you'll buy your case, and when you ask, are you ordering another case, people are holding on to it. So you don't create a clientele that goes back into the business or plowing back into the product because you assumed you're going to white label the product and put your name on it. And I see most of us, celebrities, we are doing that. We assume that I got 3 million followers. Let me make a water brand, and everybody, at least 10% of my followers are going to buy it. Then you get surprised. That's not how things work in the real world. Let me not give Valtre an endorsement. You've seen it with, I'm joking. You've seen it with the likes of Coca-Cola. These are examples of mistakes, the Nokias. Do you really think being a big brand, I was speaking to a friend this morning before I rushed here. I had a meeting with AB, the CMO of Vodacom. We had a breakfast meeting after my speaking engagement with the 48 team. And the conversation was, aren't you threatened by content creators who are creating their own platforms and networks are not recognizing local content creators, but you have a brand like Celsi Black, which spend billions buying international products, buying international catalog. I'm not going to say much. We all know that It was not a wise move. As a result, they are remodeling. And what that means is if we rely on being the Goliath of the industry and say we're a big brand and never want to go and innovate, there's an emerging group of better thinkers, like better than you and I, who are going to come up with products that are going to shake these big institutions and cause people to start being in touch with grassroots. And that's what we're doing. I looked at what happened with Ethiopian Airlines. I think last year they were regarded as the best airline, if I'm correct. And now the news broke out a few days ago. Does it mean they're not good anymore? The conclusion I can only come to, ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to try my gin and try my wine. I've got to a point, and it's my conclusion that I want to tell you. I've got to a point where there is no good product and there is no powerful brand, because my friend took his own life wearing Louis Vuitton. Yeah. People gravitate. We like to say this is an aspirational brand. If it's an aspirational brand, does it motivate me when I'm going through the storm to be a better person? The brands that are powerful are you. People make brands powerful. Brands aren't powerful unless you make them powerful. So when I created the products that I'm putting out there, I created products that people are part of the creation. I set a group of people at the distillery. 20 people sat with me at a distillery, and we all tasted. And until we were ready, it was a 13-month exercise. Before we bottled, I got a call from Pick and Pay. We taking your brand. I got a call from Top Spa. We taking your brand. Why? There was a story before we went and packaged it. I was involving my audience, those who follow me. We were creating these short stories, waking up in the middle of a farm, and I made people become part of this creation. People who just follow me that I don't even know say, come with me, let's go to this farm. I want you to try this gin. So those who are consuming a product are ambassadors of this product. Why? Because they were part of the creation. So don't make mistakes and go to celebrities and say, hey, we want you to be an ambassador for this new brand. It doesn't work like that. I've seen people endorsing alcohol brands when they don't even drink. And that, to me, it's a true disconnection, where the market is smart. People know how we live. People know they can see through the lines. They can see through the marketing campaigns that were drafted in Stellenbosch for a market in Vilakazi Street, and they don't relate. Oh, trust me. So I am now even challenging the space where we need copywriters who understands culture. I'm telling you, you got a group of people who are designing campaigns for people who they've never had an engagement with. The fact that you learned and you know what LSM I represent or what group of sector in society or my income bracket doesn't mean that you know how I want to watch Generation at 8 p.m. in front of SABC1. Maybe I want to have it in a bottle of wine. You don't know while I'm having it, I've got a generator in the back because we might lose lights or electricity because there's no service delivery in the township. You don't understand the culture. So what makes you think you can pump millions in graduates who went to AAA and assume that, oh, they're going to come up with the best campaign when they don't know the culture? So the reason why 48 gin in 3 months is an 18,000 selling gin, I almost said cases, 18,000 selling bottles in 3 months without a billboard, without a TV ad, is because the people who are consuming it are part of that story. Pepe, please don't stop me. I'm gonna try and hurry up. So in conclusion, I'd like to say, for those who are in the business of selling like I am, understand people's culture before you go and assume that we are going to consume your brand simply because you're a giant, successful brand who historically you've produced successful products. No. I think we got to start engaging those guys at a taxi rank who understand the mindsets of the people inside those taxis. A friend of mine is building a taxi TV network, and he's never been inside a taxi. And I said, what an insult. Don't make those mistakes. Save your money and come to me. I'll show you how to do it. So with all the ability to sell, all I'm asking is, Let's understand culture, and let's understand that people make brands. Not your campaigns, not the nice meetings you have around your cozy boardrooms. So before you want to win my pocket, win my loyalty. Yeah. There are people who migrate to any product that I release on the market. Before they test it, before they even want to taste it, they know Touch will not disappoint us. He gave us the best 17 years of good radio. He gave us the best perfumes that sold out at starter fits. Gave us an amazing cab serve, and now he's giving us the best gin. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TBO Touch.